Midnight here in Cairo, time for Panorama News, where we'll take a look together at the latest in the fields of politics, business and sports in the upcoming 30 minutes or so. I'm Mohammed Abdelrahim, and we begin with the political segment as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held summit talks with visiting Sierra Leone President Dr. Julius Maada Bio at Al Ittihadiyya Palace on Thursday, followed by a joint press conference. The two leaders probed fields of cooperation in various domains, with both stressing the significance of enhancing economic and investment ties, as well as a number of regional and continental issues of common concern.
Dr. Julius Maada Bio at Al Ittihadiyya Palace on Thursday. The meeting tackled means to strengthen bilateral ties and a number of regional and continental issues, including the situation in the west of Africa and El Sahel, as well as means to combating terrorism. The two leaders probed fields of cooperation in various domains, with both stressed the significance of enhancing economic and investment ties. President al-Sisi held strong ties binding the two nations and their constructive cooperation since the 1960s. The head of state said that talks reflected their joint will, which is aimed at enhancing cooperation between the two countries that serves their ambitions towards achieving developmental interests for the two peoples. The two leaders further reviewed the role played by Sierra Leone as head of the 10 countries committee, which is concerned with promoting a unified African stance regarding expanding and reforming the UN Security Council. The two presidents affirmed the importance of amending the position of the African continent and its achieving of a permanent membership at the UN Security Council. Their bilateral talks was followed by an expanded meeting, which was attended by delegations of the two countries. Later on, President al-Sisi and President Maada Bio held a joint press conference where they reviewed the latest continental developments and asserted their keenness on exchanging views on several files of mutual concern. Meanwhile, the two presidents witnessed the signing of a number of cooperation agreements in different domains.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli greeted President al-Sisi marking Eid al-Fitr. The Prime Minister, on behalf of himself and the Cabinet, offered best wishes to the President. Also, the Minister of Interior, Major General Mahmoud Tawfiq, sent a greeting cable to the President, marking the Lesser Bayram, wishing it to be a feast of peace for all Egyptians. Pope Tawadros II, the Pope of Alexandria, and the Patriarch of the St. Mark Cathedral also sent the President a greeting cable marking Eid al-Fitr, and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Hanafi Gebeli, congratulated President al-Sisi on the same occasion. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli stressed the government's keenness to follow up on the indicators of the availability of medicines and medical equipment in the local market so as to boost Egypt's health sector and guarantee the sustainability of offering high-quality health services for all citizens. This came during a meeting chaired by the Premier to follow up on the situation of the availability of medical needs, especially equipment for heart, chest, labs and other medications in the framework of the state's efforts to provide these needs for a safe period. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Migration Badr Abdel Ati stressed that Egypt will continue supporting Lebanon, its governments and national institutions against any moves that endanger safety and security of its people. Over a phone conversation with his Lebanese counterpart, Youssef Raji, the top diplomat reiterated that the ceasefire in Lebanon should be implemented and added that Egypt is ready to contribute in the reconstruction of Lebanon. Also, Minister Abdel Ati on Thursday discussed over phone with his Congolese counterpart Therese Kayikwamba means of boosting bilateral ties in various domains. The two top diplomats also agreed on activating cooperation mechanisms to benefit the two people's interests. Their talks touched on the latest regional developments, notably the crisis in East Congo, where Abdel Ati stressed Egypt's full support to all peaceful solutions that target the stability of the country, as well as reaching a comprehensive and permanent settlement of the crisis. Egypt kept its Rafah port crossing with the Gaza Strip open for the 10th day running for Palestinian patients and wounded arrivals for treatment in Egyptian hospitals. However, Israeli occupation authorities continued closing the port from the Palestinian side as part of a resumption of Israeli aggression in the enclave as of the 17th of March. Around 1,700, that's 1,700 wounded people had arrived under the January 19th truce till that date. Meanwhile, the UN humanitarian agency warned that supplies in Gaza are depleted amid continuous bombardment, coupled with continued Israeli blocking of aid into Gaza for the 27th consecutive day. Economy-related news now. Egypt's stock market indices collectively rose on Thursday, bolstered by purchasing operations by Arab and foreign investors. The main EGX 30 index gained 0.89%. The small and medium EGX 70 index added 0.98%, while the more expanded EGX 100 index added 0.97%. Overall transactions and dealings within the session reached 58.9 billion Egyptian pounds.